I get asked a lot, well, if it's not a UFO, what does Ezekiel chapter 1 mean? What does the vision mean? And to really digest this, and again, this presents another logical problem with the way ancient astronaut theorists approach Ezekiel 1. You have to sort of dispense with ancient Near Eastern and Israelite cosmology. You have to get that out of the way to import your flying disc into it. But if you're familiar with ancient Near Eastern cosmology, and biblical cosmology is very consistent with it, the meaning is not only pretty clear, but it's also kind of stunning. Imagine, if you will, the ancient Near Eastern world view of the world is you have a round earth that is flat on the bottom, might have something underneath, the other world, the off-world world, the nether world, and it's covered by this dome called the Rachiach, the firmament, the expanse. Now, God was pictured as above all that. He sits on top of the throne, and it's even in some places called the flood, because the conception was that on top of this dome there were waters. We know this from the flood account. The waters get sort of dumped down on the earth, but there were waters above, and God sits on top of the waters above the firmament. Now, if you take that to Ezekiel, that's what Ezekiel is actually describing. This is why we have a round firmament expanse kind of thing going on, and then on top of that we have sort of this platform throne, and God is sitting on top of the Rachiach, of the expanse. To an ancient Near Eastern person, an ancient Israelite, this is a picture that God rules the earth. And at this point, then the cherubim, the creatures underneath all that, are important because they have 4 faces. And it's not a coincidence that the 4 faces are the cardinal points, cardinal direction points, but also the cardinal points of the zodiac in Babylonian thinking. Remember, you're Ezekiel, you're an Israelite, you worship Yahweh, you're sitting in Babylon wondering, why in the world are we here? Our God's the best, why are we here in exile? Did Marduk, the god of the Babylonians, did he win? Is he stronger than Yahweh? Well, Ezekiel has a message. He takes stock throne imagery, puts Yahweh on the throne above the earth, and then he goes into Babylonian astrological thinking with the cherubim faces and says, look, who is in command of the way the world works? Who is in command of the passage of time? Who is in command of history? It's not Marduk. It's Yahweh, the God of Israel. Even though we're in captivity, God is still in control. It's a very theological message. There's a lot of elements to it when you really get into the details. Babylon itself, pictured as the navel of the world, the Babylonians called it, the center of everything, where the heavens and earth are run from this place. And Ezekiel's saying, no, they're not. If you take a God's eye view, if he's above the earth, again, you fix the cardinal points there, and he's sitting there on the throne, literally from corner to corner to corner to corner, Yahweh is in control. And so Ezekiel, writing not only to Jews in Babylon, who have now, unfortunately, more familiarity with Babylonian thinking than they want to. They'd rather be back in their homeland. But even to Babylonians who would be reading this, hearing the message of Ezekiel, the message is very clear. Yeah, we're here, and we're in a bad situation, but our God is still in control. He is the sovereign of the universe.